Hi guys, it's Sylvie from Polydollies, and today we're going to open up this Draculaura Monster High Boo-riginal Creeproduction. For those of you who don't know, Monster High was a 2010 doll series about different monster characters who went to a high school. All these characters were usually the child of a famous horror character. Today we're featuring Draculaura, the daughter of Dracula. Monster High actually had a pretty good run from at least 2010 to 2015. It was pretty popular. However, it has gone through many reboots, popularity flares, and during that time, a lot of the fans have either given their collection away, or been forced to sell their collection, or the collection has gone all ruined. And basically, there hasn't been any of these dolls for a very long time, at least not these very expensive ones on eBay. So fortunately, Mattel has decided to re-release them in an all-new Playline series. Of course, there's the whole $80 collector set that you could buy, but that's a whole other kind of worm, so we were just focusing on the reproduction. Let's take a look at her box. Her box is actually pretty thin. We can see that it's more of like, it's not necessarily a box, rectangle box, but it actually has more of a triangle with the tip cut off shape, with the left side being the larger base and these box decreasing in size towards the end. The entire left side is composed of clear plastic. The back has a black and pink stripe cardboard piece, and we can see the doll on the left side standing up, no pose. We also see a circle at the top, black circle outlined in pink, outlined in white, that says Boo-riginal Creeproduction in the center in white text. Underneath that, we have another oval shape that is white, outlined in pink, outlined in black, with a tag on the right upper side that says Count Fabulous in black text. In the center, we have the bat pet that comes with Draculaura. This is Count Fabulous. I'm pretty sure he's like a 3,000-year-old man that's stuck in the form of a bat. I don't know. And to the right of Count Fabulous, we have the brush here, and below this, next to Draculaura's leg, we have her umbrella, and of course we have her diary. At the very bottom, we have a cardboard piece that is made of black and pink stripes with black and pink stars that says includes doll stand and diary, and underneath that it has many different languages that lists this information. On the other front of the box that isn't plastic, we have a nice cardboard black with pink lines and bats decals that says Draculaura, daughter of Dracula, with other different languages listed. And we also have to the left of this Draculaura name card a black and pink striped circle that has the skullet with two ponytails. And of course, to the far right of this, we have a cassette tape that is pink and black that says Jaundice Bros Mix. On the far right, a triangle pop out that looks like the top of an envelope. It is a gradient from light pink to dark pink with a crosshatch fishnet leggings that has the Monster High logo, and this Monster High logo is printed vertically. If we turn the box around, you can see some beautiful Monster High decal with no skullet. We can see artwork of Draculaura with her name under it. There is a very small bottom that is black that has skullet's image, and the entire background has pink chains with black and dark pink stripe details. And if we run the light over the box, we can see that some of these details that are gray shapes like pink skulls or bats are actually in dark gray lined with black, and these do have a bit of a shiny texture to them. On the back of the box, we have that same dark pink with black, as well as gray decals background, but this time we have the Monster High logo, again with skullet, in the center between Monster and High, and right under the Monster High logo, we have a text that says, white text that says, meet the frighteningly fashionable teenage children of the world's most famous monsters. With frighteningly fashionable, of course, being listed in pink. Under the main entrance, a pink, slightly rounded rectangle that says Draculaura in pink, daughter of Dracula, which is her name card again. Of course, we have a larger outlined white decal of Draculaura's artwork. And we have on the bottom some pink spider webs, a pink cassette tape, a pink bat, and at the very, very bottom, we have decals of Laguna Blue, Claudine Wolf, Frankenstein, and Draculaura. These are the first 4 dolls included in this reproduction, and there have been rumored to be a Cleo Denial and Lluvia releases later as well. Those are other characters in the franchise. Lluvia is very important to me as she is actually an autistic representation character. I'm autistic, by the way. I see that she is another unique representation of autism. and that's amazing to me. And I'm very, very hopeful that they at least bring her back somehow. And by the way, we have a little decal of Kent Fabulous, and he's looking at all of these facts listed about Draculaura. Something very cool with the original Monster High, as well as the collector editions and these reproductions, is that they list tons of facts about the characters. For example, we can see that her age is 1,599. I can't wait for my sweet 16th, it says in parentheses. All in white text, her pet is Cat Fabulous, trademark, is my BFF, bat friend forever. Her favorite food is that she's a vegetarian, no icky blood for me, so it's fruit, vegetables, and a lot of iron supplements. And her BFFs are Frankie Stein, trademark, and Claudine Wolf. I guess she's not too big on Laguna Blue, trademark. And if we turn the box around, we can see the same pink to dark pink gradient with fishnets overlays. And on the top, we have pink text that says, ready to sink my fangs into some drama, with pink, dark pink chains, and that same dark pink with black decals. And on the very bottom, we just have some legal decals. On the other side, we have some more information about what the product contains. I'm going to try and open this. I'm also very sorry if it's hard to see the entire box. It's a pretty large box. I also have a pretty small filming area. I don't really have that much space to do wider shots. One thing that I'm really hoping for in this re-release is that the boxes are easier to open. I remember these being very hard to open. Yes, I actually did have some Monster Highs as a kid. I had two. I had a Lluvia that was from the Skater series, and I had Draculaura from, not Gloom Beach, maybe it was Gloom Beach, and that was the only two I ever got. There's a number of reasons for those. Oh, namely being their price and how hard they were to open, but maybe I will find those dolls and I will talk about them another day. So it was very easy to slide it out of the box. There was no tape protecting this top part. I was just able to slide her out. And the box actually, the cardboard feels really nice. It feels really like matte, smooth cardboard, which sounds really weird. But that is the texture. It feels really nice, and what I'm hoping is that I could either put this doll back in the box if I wanted to, or that the box is either recyclable or still reusable. Anyway, we have our doll out of the box, and here she is in her cardboard template back. We have a mix of all these wires and stuff back here, which are able to untie the doll. It doesn't look that much complex from your average Rainbow High. In fact, Rainbow High is probably like the hardest doll series to open now. So we have Count Fabulous Freak. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to have these. So yeah, like I said, I did have some as a kid. However, I was kind of like limited with them because you see, my parents very understandably were concerned about my exposure to gender roles in dolls. Because back in 2004, those things still really existed, especially with Barbie. We've come so much longer from 2004, but still back then, my parents were worried about me getting exposed to gender roles in Barbie and toxic body types, and of course that was understandable. But as a kid who was growing up with undiagnosed autism and OCD, I took that very personally, and I kind of almost felt like I couldn't play with the dolls. I also think it was due to the fact that I had never had a doll like this before. Like, I wasn't really into dolls as a kid. I had like Barbie, that was like the only ones I had, and I didn't like how their legs and arms moved so statically. But Monster High, as you could see, they had like multiple joints in their legs, arms, a lot. I mean, I know now that's nothing huge, but it was something huge for me back then. And when I got my first Draculaura, I was like so happy because I was like, whoa, this is like such a new experience. And then, well, let's just say there's a reason that she's not on my shelf anywhere. I broke her arm. Back then, those dolls were very fragile. They were not like your average Rainbow High, and especially to a kid who had never really heard of the concept of collecting dolls or being really gentle with dolls. We broke her. Okay, and I broke that Draculaura's arm. Like, I didn't just pop the joint off. I absolutely broke her entire arm joint. It got messed up. And of course, here's her diary. And while I know this may sound strange to some, however, it's not. It's still a very real thing. I think I really got traumatized by that experience because I knew my mom had spent a lot on that money. By the way, my parents are fine with me collecting with whatever else they want me to now. And I understand why they did that originally when I was a kid. However, it did feel limiting. Of course, they didn't know I was autistic either, but anyway, it was traumatizing to see this new doll that I just got just break into pieces. And I knew my parents were disappointed. Well, they weren't really, but I felt like they were. And I know my mom was upset. She wasn't upset at me. She was very upset at the doll for breaking easily, because back then, both of us had not really any awareness of collector dolls, especially ones that seemed like they were made for more like kids. And the idea of like collector dolls or really being gentle with dolls, because I'd really assumed that every doll was meant to last, which is why it was so shocking when her arm broke off. And that was traumatizing because my mom was upset. She wasn't upset at me, she was upset at the doll being flimsy and stuff. And I internalized that, and it really kind of turned me off of Monster High dolls for a while, I think. And gosh, she's so precious. But basically, I have like a kind of like vague experience of Monster High dolls. Like they were kind of there in my childhood, but also not really, because I was too scared to really touch them or mess with them because I didn't want to break them. And I know it might sound like a ridiculous thing, and that's okay if that's the popular opinion. However, I do think it's a very real thing for children to have a nice doll like this, and not like a nice doll like an LOL or an OMG and not realize that it's intended towards a collector audience and then accidentally breaking it and potentially even internalizing that, which is why we need to teach kids, especially in collector dolls, how to properly take care of their doll, like how to remove their hands, how to care for these dolls. Because even if these dolls may be targeted at collectors, that doesn't mean kids can be included too with them. Anyway, rant over. Oh my gosh, she is, oh my gosh. Okay, so this is an experience of a person who had kind of dolls, but Monster High dolls as a kid, but never really got super into them because I broke one. It was very traumatizing to me and stressed me out. But then I found them a few years later. I'm like, oh my gosh, these dolls are amazing. And then I wanted them like everyone else who had either sold their dolls or had gotten rid of their dolls or didn't have any or also wanted their doll. Why? Okay, good. But anyway, I'm just so glad these reproductions are back for people who just want new nice dolls and don't want to have to charge $10,000 on eBay for them. Here she is out of the package. She is a lot larger than I remember Monster High's being. Okay, I guess some dolls precise comparison. Okay, so I have two other very popular doll brands here, Rainbow High and a LOL OMG. Draculaura is actually about the height of Sunny without her stand, and she's a bit shorter than the LOL OMG. She's about in that sort of size range. So to answer a few questions off the bat, I got this doll for $20 to $25 US at Walmart, but they're also coming to Target on this Friday the 13th. I was just able to get mine early just because I checked my Walmart. A lot of other people are finding them early. If you're curious to what Walmarts may have these dolls stocked up, then I highly suggest checking the Monster High Reddit, because a lot of people will update where they find their dolls there. But of course, everyone will be able to get the one on Friday the 13th, and as I noticed with the booth, it seemed like they had plenty stocked up. These aren't a limited edition doll, these are a standard playline doll, so everyone will be able to get one. It's just a matter of if you want to get yours early. This doll also automatically comes with a stand. It is bright pink and it hugs around her waist. Feels like it's made of a slightly sturdy plastic, and it kind of seems like it feels a bit unsturdy, like this part where the, why does this say 2008 Mattel? Is that a joke? Is this some kind of sick joke, Draculaura? I'm just gonna ignore that. The waist hugger was already on the stand. However, I did have to put the stand on the bottom. And by the way, Draculaura does not stand on her own without the stand. This doll also comes with an accessory, being her umbrella, a brush, as well as a pet. There is no extra outfit included. And then now onto the actual review of the doll. Just going to move all of this stuff out of the way. We'll check it out in a bit. So just looking at her general body shape, Draculaura is a humanoid with slightly chibi proportioned character. She has a very large head with a smaller neck and a very, very thin body with a smaller breast. She has a slightly wide waist, very thin and long legs. Her arms are very thin, and she also has some dainty small hands. I think for the most part, I'd say her body is pretty much like a chibi anime style. Unfortunately, it doesn't really account for much body diversity. It only kind of shows a thin body type, As much as I like the style of the Monster High dolls, I kind of wish we would get some more body types in their new toy releases if they do decide to continue the Monster High line. But I do hope that if we get some new goals or monsters or characters, that they have varied body types as shown by Mattel's other fashionistas and as the more recent OMGs and Rainbow High body type, because this is a very, very 2010 moment. Not saying it's bad. However, this body type is not the only unique and beautiful body type out there. The doll also has articulation at the head, with the head is on a ball joint, so it can go all around from left to right, to up and down, but it has pretty limited mobility. The body has no waist piece, it's just a solid piece. The arms have a ball joint at the shoulder. They also have another joint at their elbow, which only goes up and down, and a complete joint at their wrist. Just gently twist and pull at the wrist, and it can pop out. Okay, everything seems like it's good. Okay, yes, their hands are removable. Just be very careful and make sure you pull at the wrist, not at the fingers. The doll also has a ball jointed leg, and the knee can go back and forth. It has pretty good range. And that's about it for her articulation. Now onto the doll's actual fashion appearance. Draculaura has pink skin. She has very rich black hair that has some pink streaks and is parted into two, that have two long ponytails that go to about her skirt piece. She also has some gelled flat bangs that look very, very cute. Unfortunately, it seems that her hair isn't that great of quality. It reminds me of the Barbie fashionistas. I was warned of this. I did hear the quality was pretty bad. It's Mattel, so you know that they're going to cut corners if they can, which is really unfortunate considering these are pretty expensive dolls. Even if they are re-releases, I would have appreciated some nicer hair to play with. If you like nicer dolls, then I recommend the Rainbow High dolls or the LOL dolls. I know MGA has their fair share of quality issues too. However, at least their hair quality is good. To give you an idea of how it feels very greasy. It feels very uncomfortable. It feels like wet almost. It's not the most horrible feeling. However, I know the textures are very important. I am a person with sensory processing disorder, and I just know that I'm probably, well, this hair doesn't freak me out too much to touch. I'm probably not going to be braiding it or playing with it that much, which is very sad for me. Anyway, onto her face. Draculaura has brown eyebrows and purple eyes, a light lilac colored eyeshadow, as well as a very, very light lilac on her eyelids, as well as a black liner going around her eyelid. She also has some glitter, some slight sparkly glitter above, between her eye and her eyebrow. She also has very thick mascara with very dramatic eyelashes going around the top of her eye and the bottom of her eye. Also next to her right eye is a pink heart that appears to be a dark pink outline with an even darker pink. And her eyes are also purple, as I mentioned before, with a slight dot of pink at the bottom. Their faces are also printed on. She also has a very tiny button nose and some dark red lips with some fangs painted on. Also, if we turn her to the side, we can see that she has two white paperclip earrings with silver dots. And yes, her earrings are removable. Just be very careful. Anyway, moving right along. Also, her face plastic, it feels very squishy. It feels very soft. It doesn't feel like hard, cold plastic. It doesn't feel the best quality either. It feels like I could easily just squish her face into 1,000 bits if I wanted to, which isn't the greatest feeling. However, these are Playline dolls, but at the same time, they're kind of almost $30, which is a lot considering you can get way more other dolls that have tons of accessories and stuff. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to say it's bad or anything. However, I just wish we could get more. However, this is a Mattel and they like to cut corners. Anyway, she is wearing a beautiful sleeveless velvet top that looks like it's been sewn together with white stitches. It has two buttons. It has some Velcro in the back. The top has a very beautiful lace collar. Oh my gosh, there is still some plastic stuck to her. Anyway, she has a beautiful clear translucent flower necklace. She has beautiful long dark black fishnet sleeves that end in a lace tie, and it's the same for both of these sides. And also she is wearing a beautiful white skirt. A separate Velcro piece in the back has bright pink stitching. It's worth noting that her clothing feels very much like ribbon texture. It's slightly soft but also kind of scratchy. She also has a letter of Charlotte under this to make her skirt puff out more. She's also wearing the same black dark fishnet leggings, and her skirt is pretty short. The leggings and sleeves are also made of actual fishnet textures, so if you're not one for stretchy, bumpy, slightly whole textures, then please be careful when handling this doll. And her beautiful shoes, oh my gosh, these are beautiful. She has very, very long boots that go at least almost up to her knee level. They are bright pink and they have silver heels on the bottom. They have silver hearts with black outlines at the very top, and there is some beautiful black lace detailing that goes cross-stitched all around to the bottom, where there is some beautiful black lacing, plastic lacing going around the front of the shoe. This is the same for both sides. The shoes are also made of a thin, rubbery plastic, and there is no fabric involved. They also seem to open in the back with a plastic piece. I will test to see how good that is to get out now. Okay, it was actually pretty easy. I don't think I'll be changing her that much, honestly, because there's not really any outfits she comes with, and I also like the outfit she has now. One thing I'd be very careful with is that their limbs are very thin, and the plastic feels like, it feels slightly better, but I still be very careful because these are still pretty thin-legged dolls. That seems to be about all for Draculaura's outfit. As for questions about her outfit, the black top opens in the back with some Velcro. Her necklace is kind of hard to get on, I'm finding. This could be in part to the necklace having a bit of a warped plastic, or because again, the collar stitching is very mishapped. The skirt also detaches with Velcro, and the leggings are a separate piece. However, these tops are not, they are stitched to the vest. And also, of course, the hands and the shoes are removable. And her hair is tied into 2 pigtails, and you could take that out if you'd like. As far as quality of shoes, I kind of saw some like spots on her face. They don't really show up well on camera, but there are some spots of black on her face. And her hair seems a bit messed up, which even though I could fix it, I'd rather not have to, especially for the people who plan on just keeping this doll on a shelf without styling her. It also seems like there's some scuffed up paint near her eyelash. It doesn't seem to be the lighting. Also, like, the stitching is kind of weird on her lace top. I kind of understand it because it's like a very small doll outfit. It's not going to be perfect. The painting on the boots seems to be fantastic. However, there are also some issues with the legging. So on the bottom, they kind of bunch up. They don't really go neatly into the shoe. Of course, these boxes have clear tops. So if you have the chance to, then I do recommend trying to check out each box and seeing which one is the best quality. I did try and do that, but I guess I didn't do it well enough. I'm having a lot of trouble trying to... The stands are made of hard plastic. It's very hard to squeeze the dolls into place. It's not like any Rainbow High or OMG stand where the stand holder is actually made of a thinner plastic so you could squeeze it around the waist. It's actually kind of hard to pose these dolls and then put them on the stand. It's easier to just squeeze the doll into the stand and then pose her, but that's still incredibly disappointing, especially because we're in 2022 and doll technology has advanced so far. Let's move on to her accessories. Firstly, the star centerpiece for me is Draculaura's umbrella. I think this is such a cute little decal. Even if you can't open it, it's just kind of like the black umbrella piece with the silver slotted into it. It's still a cute little detail, and it makes for an adorable little thing she could pose with. The umbrella is pretty large, actually, about the size of her legs. It has the umbrella is composed with half the umbrella piece and half the stem, the holder, I don't know. The holder is silver and plastic and has a pink rubbery end with a bat on the top. The umbrella piece is all black. It is folded up. It has some very cute pink detail lines. All the paint looks really great. The umbrella is sealed with a pink belt that has a silver heart-shaped buckle, and the top has a pink cone with a silver skull on the top. It feels pretty flimsy. I wouldn't go around bending this and stuff. It's more of like just for posability. By the way, this umbrella is also made of a rubbery plastic and there's no fabric involved. However, still very cute. Next we have Count Fabulous. He feels very greasy like Draculaura's hair, but if it's solidified, he also feels pretty rubbery. He has 2 large wings spread out. He has a body composed of 1 single circle that is black, mainly white, with a pink border at the top and bottom, with some pink hearts on the front as a sweater. He has a oval-shaped 3D head that has 2 ears sprouting up with a pink bow. He also has angry-looking large green eyes that are half open, with tiny dots of outshine and a slightly frowning mouth with white fangs. He also has 2 legs sprouting up from the bottom of his body. His wings feel very rubbery. He doesn't feel that sturdy, which is kind of disappointing me. I know these probably were like targeted towards collectors who just want to have their dolls posed on a shelf. However, for the price of almost $30, you could definitely get more sturdy stuff from this. I understand it's a reproduction, but still. She also has a beautiful pink skullet brush. It is all pink plastic. It feels very flimsy. It feels also greasy. It doesn't feel that flimsy. It feels pretty much like the stand. It feels very sturdy. It has a slight shine to it. It has a skullet detail. The brush holder has Monster High written on it. The back is kind of cheap. It just has some pins, several small pins sticking out as the brush. It's definitely not the best for brushing their hair. It's like, it's okay. It feels slightly satisfying, but well, I'd rather this. I guess I'd rather this brush touch her greasy hair than me. It's not like greasy from a glue spillage. I know that was a real issue in the older dolls. However, it's just more of like one of those tacky bad hair problems. I'm sorry. I don't want these dolls to be bad quality. I want them to be good quality, especially because they're re-released. Like, it's sort of like the same problem what happened with Lluvia, which is how even though they released the dolls, and the dolls were actually pretty good were pretty cool. They were like exactly the way they were supposed to be, except for the packaging difference. The quality issues were still the same, which is extremely disappointing. I hope that wherever Mattel takes this new doll series, that it is towards better quality. But we know that's not gonna happen. Anyway, all the dolls used to come with a large diary. This would contain all sorts of stories and stuff. I actually never read these. I know they were pretty fun though. And I think just the idea of having a ton of lore to read about your doll at a restaurant or while you're falling asleep is just such a cute detail. It's fun. Not many doll companies do this now. But anyway, her diary is a few pages thick. It is a standard composition black notebook with a coffin-shaped white logo and a pink spider up in the front. It has a Monster High logo in the white coffin decal and a cassette tape, a bat, and a black and pink striped circle on the lower left corner. The pink line says Draculaura in cursive black font, and underneath that it says the diary belongs to, so this is Draculaura's diary. And under that we have a sort of pill-shaped white with pink outlined paragraph that says volume 1599 and 3/4, written in black cursive font. Now this is a very long diary. There's a lot in this, which I'm very sorry. I just don't know if I could keep my attention on this long enough. However, I will go through each page silently, just so you could you could maybe pause or take a screenshot or read it. Anyway, the front cover says name Draculaura School, Monster High. There are 2 blank charts in pink that list the subject teacher that you could fill out yourself. With a white background, the majority of the textbook has composition notebook paper, and Draculaura lists a paragraph every entry. Every entry has the date with the heart and the month next to it. So let's start with page 1. Make sure also you could pause this, zoom in, and increase the quality, HD definition it. Also, I'm sure there are plenty of other resources that are able to read this to you in much better style. I notice I kind of fumble at my words sometimes, and I have a very hard time reading words in general, not just cursive ones. So I just don't think this would be a good fit for me on my channel. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, I just don't think I would be able to do this well enough to be understandable or aesthetically pleasing. So I highly suggest checking out another channel that has been dedicated specifically for the reading of these diaries, or check out a wiki post. I'm sorry, I hope you can forgive me. If you really are like, I really need to hear you read that diary out loud, Sylvie, then I will dedicate an entire video to reading Draculaura's diary. I just don't think it's appropriate for this video, which most people would, I'd assume, be watching for the review of Draculaura. Wow, what a long read, or not, depending on how you view reading cursive paragraphs. And that is my review of Draculaura. As a recap, I overall liked this doll. I kind of honestly felt a bit underwhelmed. I was kind of just happy about getting any Monster High doll or any new doll that's not super expensive and also it looks really cool. However, honestly, I was underwhelmed. There wasn't anything different. After all, these were reproductions. These aren't super new dolls. The quality still seemed to be pretty bad. I'm heavily disappointed in the clothing quality, as well as the greasy hair. And even though there's some things I liked, like the clothing style, and of course that the dolls have made a return at all, as well as the beautiful face decals that no longer look buggy-eyed, and the adorable accessories, I'm sorry, I felt underwhelmed. I'm glad these dolls are back, but it's the same issue with the Lluvia, which if you've watched my video on it, you should know that I wasn't too happy about their return. Because it wasn't necessarily the fact that they returned that was making me upset, but more so the fact that all of the quality issues and all the not great factors about them returned. Overall, I'm pretty happy with this doll. I'm sure many people will be happy with her. And the fact that these dolls are going to be reproduced and not limited edition, just plain available for everyone, the kids, the customizers, the collectors, the people healing their inner child, That's just wonderful, and that's what's important. Oh my gosh, is that a tear in her clothes? Anyway, that was my overall thoughts and review of Draculaura. I highly suggest these for kids who want a more unique doll taste, or collectors who wanted them but never got them. I think these dolls are pretty perfect, apart from their quality issues, and if you're able to look past that because you just want your childhood doll again, then you get that doll. Also, of course, my doll experience is 1 of 1,000. There are also 3 other dolls from the Creeproduction series, which I have not reviewed. You also may or may not encounter these quality issues in your own product, but basically know that the quality of the overall clothes materials, as well as the hair, is not that great, and also make sure to double check whatever doll you get through the clear packaging if you're able to. Anyway, that's my review for Monster High Boo-riginal Creeproduction Draculaura. I'm Sylvie from Polydollies, and thank you for watching.